Imagine it's 3 a.m. You're awake, staring into the dark, and your brain starts running worst-case scenarios. What if the car breaks down? What if work cuts your hours? What if a medical bill shows up out of nowhere? For millions of people, money worries don't clock out at night. They follow you to bed, into work, into relationships, everywhere. But what if there was a financial milestone that dramatically quieted that anxiety? Not $1 million, not 6 figures, just $10,000 saved. And before you roll your eyes, hear me out, because the power of that number isn't about luxury, it's about freedom. Most people think savings goals are just numbers thrown around by finance gurus, but certain amounts of money actually change how we think and behave. And $10,000 is usually the first number that flips a mental switch. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, every expense feels like a threat. A tire blowout, a dental bill, or a broken appliance can wreck your entire month. Every purchase becomes a debate in your head. Do I really need this? Can I afford it? What bill gets pushed back if I buy this? You're constantly playing defense. But once you build real savings, something shifts. The biggest change isn't what you buy, it's how you feel. When money's tight, every decision feels risky. Changing jobs feels scary. Asking for a raise feels dangerous. Taking a class or starting a side hustle feels impossible. But when you've got money set aside, options appear. You're not reckless, you're just less afraid. You might negotiate your salary. You might invest in new skills. You might leave a toxic job instead of tolerating it. Savings give you room to breathe. And here's something interesting. The benefit isn't in spending the money, it's in knowing it's there. Most people with solid emergency savings don't burn through it. Instead, they sleep better, they think clearer, they stress less. Financial pressure shrinks your world. Savings expand it. Suddenly, a car repair is annoying, not terrifying. A temporary job setback becomes manageable, not catastrophic. There's also a hidden confidence boost. When you know you're not one paycheck away from panic, you carry yourself differently. You're more comfortable saying no, more willing to walk away from bad deals, less desperate in negotiations. And that confidence often leads to better opportunities. It's a positive cycle. Now, maybe $10,000 sounds impossible right now, and honestly, it probably feels that way for most people starting out. But here's the secret. Nobody saves it overnight. People who reach that number usually start small, maybe $25 a week, maybe cutting one unnecessary expense, maybe picking up a side gig. The hardest part isn't the math, it's building the identity of someone who saves money. Once saving becomes normal, progress speeds up. The first $1,000 feels brutal. The next few thousand feel easier. Eventually, saving becomes automatic. And here's why that $10,000 mark matters practically. It covers most real-life emergencies: car repairs, medical surprises, temporary job loss, urgent travel, family emergencies. Instead of going into debt, you handle problems directly. And once you stop falling backward financially, you can finally move forward. Something else changes too: how you see money. Without savings, money feels like sand slipping through your fingers. With savings, money becomes a tool. You start thinking about investing, growing income, and building long-term security because survival isn't consuming all your mental energy anymore. You're planning instead of reacting. Let's be honest though, $10,000 doesn't make you rich. It doesn't mean quitting your job tomorrow, but it gives you breathing room. And breathing room leads to better decisions, better opportunities, and less stress in almost every part of life. Better sleep, better relationships, better focus at work. Money stress affects everything. Removing part of that stress changes everything. Here's the truth most people never hear. Saving your first $10,000 isn't just about money. It's proof that you can change your habits, think long-term, and build stability. And once you believe you can do that, bigger financial goals stop feeling impossible. The journey matters as much as the number. So if your savings account feels tiny right now, don't panic. Start small, stay consistent, build the habit. Because one day you'll look at your balance and realize the anxiety that used to follow you everywhere is gone. and you'll understand that the real value wasn't the money, it was the peace of mind you built along the way. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this mindset shift.